One station making history every day.
Chicago, Chicago.
Now, Don, Wade, and Roma.
89.
8:07 with Don, Wade, and Roma. Good morning. As the storms roll through Chicago, we're joined by Donald Trump. There's a storm wherever he is.
He's like a lightning rod atop the Trump
we
Tower.
have storms running through New York also, big ones. We've never had them like this. So, how is my building? Is it holding up well?
That is so gorgeous.
Isn't it a great building?
Oh, it's so gorgeous.
Reviews.
All right, here's the deal. We want to do the breakfast show from 16 or the Terrace at your hotel, and then some bright, beautiful morning we can be down overlooking the city.
We could be in tuxedos and gowns
Anytime
and things.
you want, you let me know, and we're very proud of it. You know, it's the hottest restaurant in Chicago.
Absolutely.
Everybody's there, and everybody wants to be there. And if you want to be there, that would be great.
And it'll be a breakfast kind of a thing.
You're right. We just got a great food review, the highest, and people love it. So that's good. I love Chicago.
All right. So we'll
We
work
squandered a lot of money there.
Well,
Aren't you glad?
No, but if you ever wanted to do a show there, you just let me know.
Okay.
How's the Scottish golf resort going?
That's been great. I opened it last week, and it's been something special. And it's, you know, they're the largest dunes anywhere in the world. That's why I did it. I needed this like a hole in the head. And it was just, you know, a piece of land that was so good, 4 miles on the North Sea, and the largest dunes anywhere in the world, called the Great Dunes of Scotland. And it was not an easy process, the zoning and the environmental approvals and everything, but we got them all, and we got it built, and it opened a week ago, and it's been a big success.
Do you wear your Scottish attire when you're out there?
Right, MacLeod. My mother actually was Scottish, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to do one in Scotland.
That's why money clings to you, isn't it?
Excuse me?
That's why money clings to you.
Well, that's sort of interesting. I don't know. But it really, that's right. The Scottish have that sort of penchant for keeping every penny.
Yes,
All right,
they
I want
do.
to ask you some political stuff. They're after Mitt Romney to release every year of his tax returns since he was delivering newspapers on a bicycle, I guess. You're wondering why the president doesn't release his college transcripts, am I right?
Well, I've said that and other things. Even as an example, there are many things in Chicago that haven't been released, passport records, et cetera, et cetera. So, if they want to play the game, you have to play it two ways. I think Mitt Romney really, I think that cry for his tax returns now has gone down a lot since people said, okay, we'll give tax returns, but you have to release your college transcripts and applications. You have to release other things, including your passport records. And all of a sudden, it's an amazing phenomenon how that clamoring for the tax returns has come down. But I don't hear too much about the tax returns over the last few days. Of course, the last few days have been covered largely by this maniac in Colorado.
Absolutely true. But I noticed in the USA Today Gallup poll this morning, they have Romney scoring a significant advantage over the president when it comes to managing the economy and reducing the federal deficit and creating jobs by more than 2-1, 63% to 29%.
Wow, that's
Isn't
a
that
big number.
extraordinary?
That's a very big number. Well, the polls are very close, but it looks like Romney's actually inching ahead for the first time. And look, the economy is very bad. It's doing terribly. And when you look at what's happening, I mean, history has proven that presidents don't get elected when they've been in office and the economy is not good. So we'll see what happens. But I think it's going to be a very close election, but the economy certainly is not very good.
Would you consider being vice president if Mitt Romney chose you?
Well, I don't think he'll choose me, and I don't know that it's necessarily the best position for me, but I would do anything good for the country. But certainly I think I've been a big help to him. I've been a great support to him. I was doing really well. I was leading in the polls, but I just decided that I wasn't going to do it, and I liked what he was saying about China. I liked what he was saying about so many other things, including OPEC and how they're ripping us off with the oil, just ripping us. And Romney has a tough stance on OPEC and on China. And I decided rather than doing it, I would support him, and I have supported him.
I can't see you as being anybody's second banana.
It would be an interesting little turn.
I don't think that wouldn't work.
It would be
out.
hard to
It would be interesting.
Yeah.
hold you down. Who would you select for his ticket?
Well, I think you have a lot of really good choices. I think Bob McDonnell in Virginia is excellent. Portman is excellent. Rubio would be excellent. I'm a big Chris Christie guy. He's a friend of mine, so I'm a little prejudiced in that way. But he's a terrific guy and doing a great job in New Jersey. You really have some very good choices.
But let me ask you about something happening here in Chicago. Father Pfleger is an activist, and he's out on the Stop the Violence move, and he says we have to be careful not to send a national message that life in Colorado is more valuable than life on the south side of Chicago. Last night we had 2 people killed and 15 wounded. This weekend there were 3 dead, 26 wounded. Father Pfleger points out that there were 300 children killed in Chicago last year. Are you shocked at the homicide rate in Chicago, and why do you think the president has ignored the murder rate in his own hometown?
I don't know what's going on in Chicago, and I have a big investment in Chicago, and I have many, many friends in Chicago, and I'm morally invested in Chicago also.
Right.
And it's very sad because you go outside of Chicago, and they use that as the crime capital of the world. They're saying it's worse than Mexico. They're saying, you hear all about Mexico and the drug cartels, and yet they say it's worse. They actually say it's the most unsafe place on earth, worse than Afghanistan. And I heard that the other day, and I'm saying, what is going on in Chicago? Now, I don't see it where we're located, but boy, it must be terrible. So as far as the father is concerned, I think he's got a point. But, when I hear the worst, most dangerous place on earth, and I'm saying, wait a minute, is this the same Chicago I know? But that is the perception out there, and they use the example that it's more dangerous than Afghanistan.
Yeah, Scott Pelley asked that question of Rahm Emanuel, our mayor.
But our president does not come here nor refer to this. It's a tragedy.
Yeah.
You would think that a man that really comes from Chicago and that becomes president would make sure that there would be zero crime in the place he left. I really think it's a terrible thing, and it's never been so bad. It's very sad. I mean, It just is unbelievable to see the statistics. Every day, 2, 3, 4 people are being killed. It's incredible.
Yeah. Well, it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
That was
love
on a low
you.
note. I mean,
love you, Donald
conversation on an extremely low note, but hopefully something can be done about it.
Yeah, I'm sure that we will see a turnaround here. Donald Trump, you're always exciting. No matter what you touch, it turns to gold.
Well, that's great, and you have ratings gold, okay? Because your show is great, so you're in the same category. Your ratings gold, and in your world, that's about the thing that counts, right?
We're gold medalists, eh?
You're doing very well, and I appreciate being on. It's great.
All right,
Thank
thanks so
you.
much.
Donald Trump.